Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Try Hard Entertainment Podcast. Hope everybody is doing well. As Nathan smirks and sits in a corner.
Hi. So we're good. I can tell my story now.
Yeah,
All right.
we are officially recording.
So thanks for tuning in and checking out episode 3. Thanks for supporting us. So I told John when I got here today that I had a story that I wanted to save for the podcast.
He wouldn't speak one word of it.
Wouldn't speak one word, and the story's not even that big. But so I get up, shower, I get ready, I do all of that stuff that people do, and then I get in my vehicle and I head down the road. I get about 5 minutes from my house, and I look over my passenger seat, and there was no microphone. And I was like, dang it. Now, for those who have watched episode 2, I had bought this microphone, Audio Technica AT2020, and forgot to bring it. I was supposed to have it for the last episode, forgot to bring it. So we all, being the two of us here, laughed at me for that little lapse. And then I get down the road, and I'm a person that hates like backtracking. I hate turning around. Like when I kind of start going somewhere, I just want to keep going. And it's not just driving. Like I'll do it at work. I'll kind of realize that I forgot something I need, and I'm like, well, I'll just go back and get it later. I don't feel like turning around midway through this walk. I don't know what it is. Some kind of mental thing about it. But anyway, so I realized that I had forgotten the mic, and then I was like, bump that. I'm not turning around and getting it. I can't stand turning around. Then I was like, nah, I have to get it. And I was angry, but I turned around and got it. So, viewers, listeners, say hello to my microphone.
Yallah. Your microphone, your shock mount, your pop filter.
Mm-hmm. I came fully prepared. I got everything that I was told to buy. So the filter, shock mount, the microphone. I got a cable, which we're currently not using because John already had a cable running. So we just hooked it up to that one.
Oh yeah, that's because that was from my other mic that I have, my other condenser mic.
But yeah. So I spent about, I think it was like $123 or something for everything. And I had that free Amazon Prime 2-day shipping, which is always amazing. But yeah, so here we are, new microphone. It's a new day. It's a new episode of the podcast. I'm a new me. John's the same. And go ahead, John.
And got it set up where you're using a set of my headphones too, so you can actually hear yourself when you're talking.
Yeah, I feel really cool too.
And hear yourself, like how you are positioned to the mic versus here or here
I haven't even tried this yet, but you are absolutely correct. It's such a big difference.
So you'll know, like, if you get off center and like the audio. But yeah,
that's good. So today we're going to talk about the
that's what was it, 2 or 3 big stories. One that actually happened last week that we weren't able to get to because there was no podcast last weekend, and then one that was this week.
Yeah, the Star Wars was this week.
Yeah,
and the
whole Marvel thing was last week.
Yeah, the Disney-Sony split was last week's news. But we're going to talk about it this week because you guys have not heard enough of it.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed like you were like over here on the microphone instead of actually being in front of it.
Okay, so you guys are gonna want to hear this. Stay tuned.
But yeah, was that the two main things, or was it a third?
Nah, I think that was it. It was the two things. This is also an attempt to keep it short so that we can actually get some video game playing in. And
a game that I've never played, but you have.
I have played, but it's been a while. It's been a long time. It looks like it's got some new stuff, just judging by that little picture there. So, oh yeah, I heard myself. I heard myself getting fainter. Now you can hear.
He's really tripping out. He can actually hear himself on a microphone now.
Yeah. You guys don't know how into myself I really am. But you will. Keep listening. So, I don't know why I put my phone down, because I totally need it.
But, yeah, also, how'd your fantasy football draft go?
Ooh. Okay, we can talk about that real quick. Here we go. So I'm in 3 different leagues, and I told myself...
Wait, 3? I thought it was 2.
Yeesh. Well, I told myself, just do 2. Man, just do 2.
I'm in 1.
Yeah, and because I do my league, and then a buddy of mine, I'm in his league, and I've been in that one for like several years. I just started my own league last year, but but yeah. So I was like, those are the only 2 that I'm doing. And then my brother hit me up. A buddy of his was trying to fill out a league. They needed a few more people, so me and my brother joined that league. But it's supposed to be just like a $10 league.
But like buy-in?
Yeah. But nobody's hitting me up about money, so maybe it's a free league. I don't know, but I thought my brother told me it was like $10, but maybe they just changed their minds.
Well, I mean, like with ours at work that I'm in, it's technically a free league, but they wanted to make it more interesting and put like money up front as buy-in, and then whoever wins it all like gets the all 10 buy-ins. So
yeah. Well, see, that, John, by definition makes it not a free league. It's a It's a $20 league.
But I mean, if you looked in the settings of it for the league, it says like free.
Oh yeah, it's because you gotta set it up online. And if you have like a live draft, you just collect the money in person. You can set it up online to where people can pay you, and then it changes it with like the online description of it. But when you do it in person, you just run it as like a free league. But yeah, so 2 of my leagues, my league and my buddy's league, are $20 each, and then I'm in the third league. But the third league, even if I do got to pay $10, I don't really care about it. It's only 8 teams, so everybody's team is stacked.
Yeah,
and so it's not all that important to me if I win that one, because everybody's team is so good. He didn't really need much draft strategy. The teams are so limited. But I feel confident. I feel good about my teams. I loaded up on Kansas City players.
See, when I did it, I didn't focus on specific teams. I just focused on stats.
Well, Kansas City will probably have the most high-powered offense. And then Tampa Bay has got Bruce Arians running the show. And he's kind of known as one of the better offensive minds, so I put a lot of stock in him. So I got a few Tampa Bay players throughout all 3 of them, I guess, all 3 of the leagues, and a few like Kansas City players. But I think in each league I have at least 2 from each of those teams. So 4 of my players and each of my 3 teams is from those
like
2 teams.
Yeah, I actually don't have any from my actual NFL team that I like. I actually had one that I wanted to get, but somebody like legitimately, I had it on your queue to where I was gonna pick, but then somebody picked them right before it was my go because I was like next in line to pick, and somebody took them. So it removed it.
Yeah, that happened to me with Andrew Luck, and so pun intended, I lucked out because I was gonna get Andrew Luck, and then like 2 picks before me, somebody picked him up, and I was like, oh man. And then I went with Kirk Cousins, and guess who won that one?
Yeah.
The one whose quarterback is still playing. But best of luck to you, Andrew, and everything you do in the future. It's very brave of you to walk away from hundreds of millions of dollars, possibly stupid, but brave.
Yeah, and you said I had a fairly decent team.
I do like your team. I think your team looks pretty good.
And
I mean,
now 2 of my players are questionable after the freaking.
All right, so you're gonna see that a lot. You're gonna see it a lot, but you just ride with them until they get that O for out. Because it's a lot. Whenever they're kind of listed on like an injury report, I think they're questionable in fantasy football. But more times than not, they end up playing.
I mean, that's one reason I didn't get Ezekiel, but
oh, he's coming back. Had a report come out that the Dallas and Zeke are nearing an agreement. That came out, I think, just a few hours ago.
Because he was questionable in the fantasy league.
I picked up Melvin Gordon, the Chargers running back that's holding out. But I grabbed him in like the 6th or 7th round in 2 different leagues. Both of them were about 6th or 7th round. But I mean, if that situation gets figured out and he comes back, that's a bargain. That's one of the top, I don't know, like 5 to 7 scoring halfbacks or whatever.
Yeah.
And to get him that low would be a steal. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
But,
and then Vinny is at work asking people if they want to trade. Like, and my first pick in the draft, because I was 3rd to pick, I chose, obviously, I wanted somebody that was top rank, and he found out that I picked McCaffrey's, and now he's wanting me, trying to get me to trade McCaffrey's for somebody on his team. I'm like,
nope.
No. It's like, there's a reason I picked him first.
Yeah, he's too good to get rid of. The trade package would have to be like substantial.
Yeah.
What is that?
What?
Who texted you, Joe?
My wife.
Leave us alone, Fran. Is she watching?
Nah, I don't think so.
No, she probably was like, "What flavor mulch do you want?"
Flavor like we mulch. I'm not gonna touch that subject.
I mean, I guess it's
considering
weird.
what mulch is made from.
I guess it's just it's weird because like now we're adults and we didn't used to be, and so when that whole thing was mentioned, I just had to laugh when John's wife asked him, "So after the podcast, you want to go get mulch?" And I was just like, "Oh God, we're gonna die soon." And yeah, but I don't know. It was just funny to me. Go get mulch. I've never even thought. Of course, like, I mean, I don't know. With where I live, you don't do mulch. But so yeah, it's just never been a thing for me. But I don't know. It was just funny. It was funny to me.
I mean,
30 years old. I'm still not used to being an adult.
Right. I mean, it's not even my idea, really. It's primarily hers because of what she wants to do out front.
Women. Ruin everything.
Wow. But yeah, I still want to do which obviously we'll have to break it up into episodes. I want to still do the Star Wars topics.
Yeah, Yeah,
on
we
the
gotta get-
episodes. And we'll obviously have to split them up into multiple podcast episodes, but
Yeah, we can kind of dedicate one to each of the movies, or do one for two. Do two of the movies in one podcast, which I think I like that better.
2 movies in one.
Yeah, doing two in one, and then it also help out like schedule wise, because I feel like it's gonna be hard.
I mean, right now that would be 4 episodes anyway. If you did 2 an episode,
Yeah,
and then episode 8 wait 2, 4, yeah, and then episode 9 when it comes out in December
yeah,
would be one in its own.
and that's what like I think it'll help us with that because it's hard to schedule. To be able to get, because we want Joe in on that, so to be able to get the 3 of it.
Which I don't even know.
What? Do we
I
not
don't-
want Joe on that?
I mean, I
Fuck
do.
you, Joe.
I mean, I do want him on the episode for Star Wars stuff, but it's just the fact that his scheduling is
His schedule sucks.
utterly insane, and how he like basically called you right before the podcast, wanting us to come over while they practice for their show next weekend, Saturday.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he was calling me just like, hey man, I'm free. Like, you want to hang out, do something? I was gonna be like, dude, come over to John's, like join the podcast. But no, he called me to. They're gonna be doing the entire Californication album, which is my all-time favorite album.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It is Joe's all-time favorite album. Where do you rank Californication?
It's definitely a top. It was a
We've gone
top album for me.
Top 10, top 5, top 3.
Probably like top 3.
A top 3 album. Okay. But it's just, again, to me it's my favorite, so I think it's like the best album ever made.
One of them I listen to the most, so I mean,
But they're so yeah, they're gonna be covering the entire album. And that's gonna be awesome. And I, being the friend that I am not going to attend the first day of the Blue Ridge Rock Festival just to go check out them do Californication. Because again, I'm an amazing friend. It's also going to save me money, because then I just had to buy a 1-day pass instead of a 2-day pass.
are they even still available? Because I know those tickets were going fast. So
The 2-day passes are almost done. And I think when they are, then all you can do is just buy 2 1-day passes, which are $35 each. And right now the 2-day pass is $55, so you'd be saving $15. But they just recently announced that they are moving the venue, so it is now going to be like 30 minutes further away.
what?
It's going to be in Arrington instead of being in Concord, Virginia. It's going to be in Arrington, Virginia.
Why?
I was watching the video that they had posted on Facebook, and it's safety concerns was something he kept mentioning. I don't know. I couldn't watch the whole video because we started recording and stuff, but safety concerns was something he brought up like a couple times. He did say that they have 4 times the ticket sales this year than they had in previous years. So this thing is growing.
Oh yeah.
So, and even though DeVault Vineyards in Concord is a pretty big size, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that they needed something bigger. And so I guess maybe one safety concern is just kind of packing all those people into the vault.
It is. It was going to be outdoors, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it still going to be outdoors?
I mean, yeah, it's still going to be outdoors.
All right.
But do they have festivals indoors?
I mean,
That can't be a festival. You can have an indoor festival. Nobody wants that.
sure, they got indoor roller
Nah,
coasters.
You gotta be able to smoke doobies
and not get caught.
and not get caught. Well, you can't get caught in Virginia because it's still illegal.
You said it's still illegal?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It's still illegal.
but yeah, people still do it.
Yeah. So, So then with them moving it, I kind of thought, well, all right, so it's 30 minutes further out. Because what I was gonna do is get the 2-day pass and then just I think they're doing Californication at like 7 p.m. next Saturday. I think's when they're starting it.
Where are they gonna be?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where that is, but
it's out in Forest.
Oh wait,
it's kind of near 811.
Actually, I think I do remember, but I don't think I've.
It used to be, I believe, like a fire department. So like where the trucks, like the truck bay, is now where they have all the whatever you make beer in, John. I don't know. I just drank it. But it's got all of that in there, and I mean, the place is pretty cool. So yeah, that's where they're gonna do it. So I was gonna leave it since it was in Concord, and then just make like the 30-minute drive to Forest. But now it's in Arrington, which is 30 minutes the opposite direction,
right,
from like Concord or whatever. So then you're looking at like an hour to maybe an hour and 15 minutes, somewhere in that gap, to go from one to the other. So I'd have to leave at like 5 o'clock next Saturday instead of leaving at like 6:30. And wait, no, 6 o'clock. No, 5:30 instead of leaving at roughly whatever, quarter after 6. And so I don't know. I think that whole, yeah, just that extra time, I was like, it's just, I don't feel like it's gonna be worth it. So I'm gonna save a little bit of money, do a 1-day pass, and just go on Sunday,
right,
next Sunday. Do it that way. But I wonder who I'm gonna miss on Saturday, because Godsmack is like headlining it.
Oh, they're actually headlining it.
Yeah, they're the marquee band.
Nice.
So I don't know, and I really wanted to see Tech Nine and Yellow Wolf are gonna be there.
I don't know who Yellow Wolf is. I don't know.
I was gonna be shocked if you knew who either one of them.
I know who Tech Nine is. I'm not really into Tech Nine, but yeah,
I know it's not your flavor. That's why I was gonna be surprised. But yeah, I really wanted to see them. So they'll probably play Saturday. I don't get to see them. I don't know. I have to see if I can get my hands on a schedule. I may not even attend it at all this year. If I'm missing all the good people on Saturday, then screw it.
Right.
But checking out the Ruckus. I think it's the first time I've dropped their name.
On the podcast, yes.
Checking out the Ruckus, which is the band that our buddy Joe is in. I think it's gonna make it worthwhile. Doing my favorite CD of all time.
Is it gonna be them, or is it the another band that Joe's a part of?
No, it's the Ruckus. It's gonna be
with Connor,
Joe, Connor, Casey, and then Jeremy? They got Jeremy's not gonna be in it. They got because Casey's not singing.
Oh, isn't it Will?
I don't know the guy's name.
Well, okay, kind of skinnier, younger guy.
Casey posted like some practice videos.
Yeah, I saw it.
So it's that guy.
Long, skinny hair. I mean, long.
Long
black hair.
He's got very skinny hair. Yeah.
Long black hair. He's like a kind of like younger and skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Will.
Well, we're gonna go with Will. I don't know his name.
I mean, I know he runs Fainting Goat Studio. So,
but Joe actually asked me if I would want to sing the album, and I said no. No,
is that legit or
I think. Well, what? No, he asked me, and I mean, I think I'm like an average singer. Like, I think people have definitely heard worse. I wouldn't say that like I'm good. I get down in the shower though, and in car rides. But yeah, he asked me if I wanted to do it. He kind of extended that offer, and I told him no. Well, like, I would like to do it, but I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to go to practices. And then I also have a giant fear of speaking in front of people.
Right.
And I would just assume that translates into singing in front of people, because I'm a much better talker than I am a singer. And if I'm afraid to talk in front of people, I know I'll be afraid to sing in front of people.
like I could tell you from experience, those like getting in front of a group of people and performing live musically. If you hadn't really done it first, like the first few times you do it, you're like really, really nervous, and you're like petrified you're gonna screw up. But
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
you
because
just kind of go with it, and just if it happens, just move past it and keep going, not like hang on it.
I feel like in a band, like it's a lot of timing involved and whatever, and so everybody's got to be like in sync. And
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I like I worry about screwing that up. Obviously, I worry about like not sounding good. Uh,
I mean, you could like,
and I don't deal well with embarrassment, John. It's upsetting to me.
yeah. I mean, the worst thing you could do is forget a lyric versus screwing up a lyric.
See that? Well,
I
yeah.
mean,
I guess maybe the nervousness would make me forget a lyric, but with how
I mean,
much I love Californication, I'm actually confident that I would just be able to
whereas if
remember
like,
all that.
yeah, whereas if you were like the drummer, I mean, like obviously you're the timekeeper at that point, so if you mess up on the beat, then and get off the timing and whatnot of the time signature, it'll be like very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, to me, when it came to vocals, I mean, if you forgot a lyric, you could just play it off and just fill in with something there.
I'm gonna slide over to the beer cooler. But keep talking, John.
It's legitimately sliding. Oh, and it's not so much a beer. It's not so much like a beer cooler. I mean, it's like a mini fridge that right now has beer because I literally like just got it. So
It's a beer cooler.
right now it's cat that, and it'll have like some sodas in it and water and stuff like that. Make it a little bit easier, whereas not always having to run upstairs to the fridge for something to drink.
All right. So John's wife picked us up some beer, bunch of craft stuff, and so this one,
I was like, when you open it, just make sure you don't open it like right in front of the mic.
this is Dogfish Head. Lupa Luau, right? See a bit of that action going on. Okay.
Was that coconut?
Absolutely. So it says our coconut centric Lupulin party. Maybe that's like a Hawaiian thing. I don't know. This IPA is brewed with a tropical trifecta of toasted coconut, experimental hops, and coconut water. Coconut is one of my favorite flavors. So when I saw this in that 6-pack, I was like, yeah, that's mine. I'm doing that one. And I'm about to do it.
What is it, like a
Like a what, John? It's an IPA.
yeah, like an import type thing. Trying to think of a name for it.
No, this is it's a craft beer. Is that
Or
the word-
yeah,
is that the word
import,
you're looking for?
craft, whatever.
No,
Yeah, it's one of those
not,
words.
It's not imported. It's domestic.
Oh, whatever.
It's
you know.
Dogfish Head,
Oh, it's Dogfish.
which is Delaware.
Mm.
Yeesh. Here we go. The first sip. You guys are with me on this.
I've never actually heard of that, so
It's all right.
I mean,
I'll
I've
deal
never
with it.
heard of it. I mean, especially never heard the term dogfish either. I've heard catfish. Had catfish, like
I used to watch Cat Dog.
true.
Cat dog, cat dog, cat dog. All right, so first taste. That's kind of whatever, but I'm gonna drink more of it, and then we'll see. We'll see how the rest of it goes down.
And obviously, like with it being beer, don't sip it, drink it.
Shotgun it. Ugh, I couldn't imagine shotgunning that thing.
Something I just know beer you can't sip like you do wine and. Is it a gnat flying around again?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
Two
Wednesday.
weeks ago. Oh,
Well,
yeah, your stream.
yeah, my last stream. Like, I
Yeesh.
legitimately like it was like on the microphone, like right up here, right on the pop filter. And then before we got started, it was like right up on the camera, like right at the lens to it, so it's like you could see it.
I think I would like that if I was sitting by a pool. You know,
Uh,
sunbathing.
oh man. But yeah, we do need to ask Joe ahead of time for the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I'll stay on top of it.
Huh?
I'll stay on top of it. I don't think I mentioned anything to him in a while.
I mean, we brought it up to him, but he kind of just like, oh wait, no, we talked about that last week. But turned it around and gave us another subject, which has actually been confirmed at the D23 event that happened last week, or this past week, whatever it was. Wasn't it towards the end of the weekend last week when that event happened, and then like a day or two later, the new Star Wars trailer was released?
What was the event?
The D23 event, like the Disney.
Oh
thing,
yeah.
where everybody saw the trailer that everybody that was released to the public afterwards, but they saw it first, actually being there. Which was also when they announced Ewan McGregor as reprising his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, don't they? They would have been released like at the same time, like right when it kind of came out, when it was revealed at that expo. Then it, I mean, because normally that's what happens. Like right when it's revealed and the trailer's over, then it's posted online,
I believe so.
like immediately.
It was something like that.
But
But I think Joe sent us the link to it. At that point, it was just like a rumor. It wasn't like for certain that he was gonna reprise his role. It wasn't nothing in concrete.
it would be amazing.
But now they've confirmed that he'll be the one as Obi-Wan Kenobi on that, what is it,
So that it
series?
is amazing.
TV series, I think they're making it on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to cancel something.
Like
I just get Disney Plus because they're gonna have so many things because they own everything.
I legitimately want Disney Plus primarily for the Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
And then my wife can get use out of everything else Disney related that will be on there, because like apparently they're gonna put everything that's in their vault, as they call it, on the Disney Plus streaming platform. So I know at first it won't be quite as big or a big selection like Netflix and like Hulu, but obviously gradually through time. And then it's like, is it all the, probably most likely all Star Wars stuff, including like the Clone Wars cartoon and whatever the other one was called. And then you have, I think, all the Marvel stuff that'll be on there as well, if I remember correctly.
Did you ask me a question?
No, I was like talking. Well, I was actually talking to you too, but like with the Disney Plus streaming service.
All right. Okay, my bad. I was trying to look up stuff about the any updates, if there are any, which I didn't see any, about the Sony Disney stuff. Okay, all right. I'm back on track. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying like how the Disney Plus streaming service, if I remember correctly, is gonna have like all the Marvel movies like that has come out already. Probably I believe all the Star Wars stuff that they've done, including probably, since they own the rights to Star Wars, it'll probably be like all the cartoons like Clone Wars and what was the other cartoon that they did? I forget what it was called.
You name the only one that I know.
But I've actually been wanting to go back and watch the Clone Wars cartoon one myself. Then obviously all the movies.
I think it's got like 6 seasons.
Yeah. Towards the end, like what, fourth or fifth and sixth, whatever it was, is when Darth Maul came back, or was announced that he was still alive, and he was in it before he finally, technically, spoiler, got killed off. But obviously, being cut in half in the fall of the pit didn't kill him in the movie. But
So somebody found him. Both halves.
yeah, he got new legs
and soldered him back together.
because that's what they do with bodies. They solder them back together.
That's what I've read.
That's what they did to Anakin. They soldered the arms and legs to his flesh.
I watched the procedure. They showed a glimpse of it in episode 3, and that's what it was. A bunch of soldering irons out there piecing them back together.
Oh, gosh.
Same with Luke's hand.
Yeah.
That's how they do everything.
But I mean, one technical, because he is technically a Skywalker, don't have to worry about that is Kylo Ren, because of his crossblade. He was the one half solo, half solo, half Skywalker that created something to protect his hand.
Yeah, that should have been an idea much sooner. We keep losing limbs. If only we could do something about it.
Every Skywalker ever.
Maybe like the first idea was, well, let's just put the hand guards. And then they realized that the saber cut straight through the hand guard. And then Kylo was like, got this.
Turn into Avengers Infinity War. I'll do you one better. Create a handguard. I'll do you one better. Let's create a crossblade. I'll do you one better. What's a crossblade lightsaber? It's never been heard of.
At first, I hated that design.
But the more you think about it, it makes sense, though.
Yeah, and then it kind of grew on me. But when I first saw it, because the trailer they showed, it showed like the actual lightsaber come out, and then a second later,
and then he gets like, and then also with him using a broken kyber crystal too, and his lightsaber.
This freaking gnat just will not leave me alone.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's one thing. An idea, because obviously I have tattoos. Oh, freaking camera's backwards. But that's another idea for a tattoo. I would love a Star Wars one.
I thought about getting a sleeve that would incorporate all of that stuff. Get like some superheroes, get Star Wars stuff, get video game stuff. And
that's what, like, that's what this arm I eventually want to do, like sleeves, but
then I never have money.
Kind of want to incorporate, like, that would be more like music related. This would be more like family, friends, and like video games and stuff like that. So, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I need to get a tattoo.
You don't have any, do you?
I have 0 tattoos. I don't have piercings. I don't have tattoos. I'm pretty boring. I'm a pretty boring guy. All right. So, John, how do you feel? How do you feel about Spider-Man no longer being in the MCU?
How do you feel about the gnat?
I hate it. And the only time I can like smack it is when it's on my mic. I don't want to do that.
I mean, I was highly disappointed when I heard that they can't come onto an agreement for contracts, but I mean, can you really blame Disney? They only had 5% of the revenue.
Yes, I can blame Disney.
I mean, so it was like a what 95 or 90 to 5%.
It was yeah.
It was
They got 5%.
They got the first 5% of opening weekend, and Sony got everything else.
Yeah.
When Sony only owns the film rights, when Marvel owns all the rest of the rights.
It's obviously.
I mean, I don't take sides on the subject at hand, but I mean, that's a pretty messed up percentage. It's like.
Well, but it was agreed upon, though.
That was like a foot in the door type of agreement, and then obviously they want to renegotiate.
Yeah, you agreed to it, and so that's the agreement. And then Disney wanted to go 50-50.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a jump. And Sony said no. Now, what irritates me is who has more money, John? Disney or Sony? Disney has more money.
Sony has some pretty good money,
I mean,
too.
yeah, but Disney has way more money than Sony.
But Sony has always... Okay. All right. Here's a comparison for you. When I thought about this, the more I thought about it, Sony is like Apple. They are exclusive to only their stuff. They don't want to share with no one but themselves.
That's fine.
Whereas, like, Xbox is like Disney that's willing to open up to anybody. Because you'll make more money that way, too.
All right, so, like, my thing about it, like, I don't ever knock anybody for trying to get your money. Right? You want to capitalize your earning potential. Or maximize your earning potential.
And then the Tom Holland Spider-Mans with Marvel and Sony, those have been the best Spider-Man movies. Yeah. Has made the most money out of any that Sony has ever done. So, I mean, that says a lot about Kevin Feige being a producer of those movies, which now, obviously, he won't be because he's with Marvel, and Marvel's with Disney because they're owned by them, but...
There's also a struggle now with the director, John Watts. I feel like I'm kind of close if I'm not hitting it. But anyway,
for so what?
There's like a thing for the Spider-Man. But I don't really know the details in it. I didn't take any business classes, but. With the director, I guess maybe I don't really know who he's employed by. I don't know how that works, but I think maybe Disney is trying to pull him, and then Sony is trying to hang on to him because Sony wants, because they're contracted to do what, like 1 or 2 more movies with the director and with Tom Holland. I know it's at least 1, it might be 2, but so Sony wants to keep him, and I think Disney's trying to pull him.
I think he originally agreed upon 5. No. It's like 2 more, I believe. I remember.
I know it's all like what I know.
Something
with Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi, it was like 6, turned into 3. I think Andrew Garfield was 3 movies, turned into 2. This crap always happens. I'm just tired. I'm tired of the Spider-Man reboots. Right? Like he's one of my favorite. He's probably my second favorite.
He is my top favorite. He's always been since a child growing up. Like I've always been drawn to like this whole Spider-Man world of things.
I heard something just kind of pop.
I did too.
In my headset. Because I can hear that now. Because I have a headset. I'm not going to buy a headset, John. I'm just going to keep using yours. I'm not that committed. No, I actually have a headset. So, suck it. Alright, what were we saying? Did I throw you off track too much?
Just crap, what was I saying? It was Spider-Man's always been my favorite like superhero, and I've always loved the games, the cartoons, comics, all that. So it's like another interesting bit of information is Kevin Feige was the one who hired Tom Holland, not Sony. So therefore, that's why Tom Holland got so pissed off about it. Which, I mean, it's a small, subtle rebuttal against Sony, but like apparently he went and unfollowed Sony on social media, and so did Zendaya. Which for Tom Holland, it's more reasonable because he was hired by Marvel and Kevin Feige to be Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And then Sony's like, yep, no, we're screw you guys. We're just doing our own thing. We're not accepting your offer. Because Disney came back with wanting like a 50-50 split, which that is a big jump. I would have held out and gone a lower percentage at first. I mean, you agreed upon like a 5%. At least shoot for a 20% first before just jumping from 5% to 50. It might have been a better route to go.
Yeah, but I guess
because I mean I could see that pissing Sony off and like no,
yeah.
But it may have just been gone about the wrong way. So, but it sucks. What are you looking up?
All right. Well, I reckon I was wrong. So maybe I can't be mad at Disney. I mean, these numbers are right. So 2018, Sony's revenue, I don't know what their profit was, but their revenue was $78.14 billion. Disney reported $59.43 billion in revenue with a $12.6 billion profit. So, I mean, if this is what I think it is, then Sony just make, of course they do all kinds of different stuff, but with Sony Pictures and the electronics and whatever,
and then PlayStation, but
right,
yeah,
that's electronics. And they probably got music stuff too, right? I think so. Sony has like music, like record labels.
Yes, they do.
So I guess I didn't really. I was just thinking. I think originally like Sony Pictures.
I mean, that's what
But
they're
like
dealing with, though.
well,
Sony
yeah,
Pictures.
Yeah, but it's all it's all Sony.
Yeah.
So Sony's the company that I am now mad at. I was mad at Disney 3 minutes ago, and now I'm angry at Sony for being so money hungry. But like I said earlier, I understand. I'm totally with making as much money as you can make. I'm all for it. It's what I aim to do every day. So I'm not gonna knock anyone for doing that. But the amount of money that these companies have, and then you have to rob, like the movies aren't gonna make as much. Like you're gonna lose money.
Yeah.
On that end of it. So I wonder, like, would it be worth it to stick with Marvel and what they bring to the table and cut it 50-50?
Yeah.
Or take that loss since the movie is not going to be as good?
I think another thing.
I think the 50-50 you're losing more money. I don't think the loss is going to be that substantial, not having Marvel attached to it.
Like this is.
But I know me angry that he's not in the MCU. Like Spider-Man movies themselves are good, but just to be like woven in to that storyline,
yeah,
man, it's gonna suck not having him there, especially with the role they just gave him.
I am. Well, first, one comment I was gonna say is also that I think Sony started getting greedy about it because of the success that they had with Venom, which actually Kevin Feige turned out to be a part of as well. Just on his name wasn't attached to it, but apparently he still had something to do with the Venom movie with Tom Hardy. So, I mean, they had a great success from that movie, and then the success of the Spider-Man movies, which is in part of Kevin Feige and Marvel. So, I mean, it's pretty messed up. Like I said, it bloated their heads to where they thought that they were hot stuff, and didn't need Disney,
Mm-hmm.
even though they were a big part of why it's successful. And then now I am completely like terrified of what Sony is gonna do with the story route of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, being as they just introduced JJ back into the universe of Spider-Man, of the current Spider-Man universe that hasn't been in it since the Tobey Maguire ones.
Yeah. Like everything that ties in,
Still with J.K. Simmons as JJ, so
and everything that ties in with like Marvel, like I don't know if they can use. They can't make Iron Man references,
yeah, they
right?
wouldn't be able to do that.
And that's the biggest thing, obviously, because of the relationship with Tony Stark and Peter Parker. That's obviously like the biggest blow. But like he can't. I mean, he can't reference any of it. I don't. He can't reference any of the events from the MCU. I wouldn't imagine.
No,
So like you're gonna have to do something completely different. And I don't know. It's just to me, it just doesn't seem worth it, man. You're robbing people of like so much, and it's just over money. And I just kind of wish. I guess Sony would be the one to have to do it, but just bite the bullet. Take a tiny loss compared to making $78 billion in a fiscal year. Take that little minor loss in money and just roll with it.
yeah,
But so I don't know, because I'm the person that's all for making money, and then here I'm telling Sony to not make as much money as you can. But there's exceptions to everything.
yeah. I mean,
And I just feel like with the fan base and just kind of robbing them, like nobody's happy about it.
yeah,
If you are happy about it, I don't want to be friends with you. I mean, I'm not you. I'm just talking like in general.
yeah.
But like, yeah. So I just don't understand why you do it. Just bite the bullet.
I don't like it. I mean, if you agreed to a crappy contract, like only taking 5% of opening weekend cut or opening day cut, whatever it is, and then you want to renegotiate after so many movies, it's probably not the greatest idea to go from 5% to 50. But
Yeah, I guess you should.
that's like kicking you in the face.
And then kind of not. I mean, I'm assuming they weren't really willing to budge.
Yeah,
Like,
and
a deal hasn't been made.
like I said, Sony being like Apple is to electronics, I mean, it's like that's like a kick in the face for them. They're just like, no, screw you. You get the hell out.
That's what they did.
There's the door.
That's exactly what they did.
It's like we're hard to bargain with, but for the right price. Which apparently for them was you get 5% and we get the rest. But it's crazy.
I can be pretty creative at times, so I'll take 5% and work with Sony.
Like I said, I'm assuming they only agreed upon 5% of the cut in order to get their foot in the door with Sony to bring the stuff to Sony owns the
How
picture
complicated
rights.
is it to just get the rights back? Why is that still a thing?
As long as the only way they could easily be given the rights back is if Sony stopped making the movies of those characters, which it would automatically be rolled back to Marvel at that point. Then they would get it back. But that's the thing, is I don't think Sony's gonna stop making those movies like Spider-Man and Venom and stuff like that. As long as they're making money,
Yeah, why would
they're gonna hold the rights to it, and I don't think any amount of money is gonna be enough for them to agree to give up those rights. Which the only way they got them in the first place is because when years back Marvel was essentially going out of business in the movie department of it all, and so they were selling off the rights to their characters in order to stay afloat. And then they gained a lot of them back, but there's some of them that they still haven't gotten the rights back to. So, which obviously, unfortunately, Spider-Man being one of them. So then trying to come to an agreement with Sony is like pulling teeth. I mean,
Mm. We're just going back to the just robbing that experience from fans. I don't know. It's a bummer, but hopefully they can get something figured out. But you want to segue into Star Wars?
sure.
We got limited time. It's already after 3.
Oh,
Yeah. So just I guess quickly, all we were gonna talk about, if I'm right here, was just the trailer. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, go check out the trailer.
The D23 reveal trailer.
We
I
see
forgot how they worded it, but yeah.
we see what I believe is just like a vision or something. But there's just like this really cool moment with Rey, and she's got a lightsaber, and at first it looks like it's just like like 2 blades on it.
The double bladed, yeah, double sided.
And then she just kind of whips that thing, and it spins over and locks, and it turns into the double sided like we saw with Darth Maul. But it's pretty brief, but I mean it's hype.
Oh yeah. And the fact that they threw it in at the last minute,
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
So they did
what? To really kind of catch you off guard.
They did Palpatine's laugh with the first trailer, and then the second trailer they whip out the lightsaber that resembles the Darth Maul lightsaber. Who was one of the most underutilized characters in this whole like Skywalker saga. Darth Maul could have been such a badass, and I don't know, they just
I mean, like I said,
him.
The actual main episodes of Star Wars has always been primarily just about the Skywalker saga.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing.
But like, the universe is so much bigger than just those movies.
Which is why after this, because this is supposed to be the end of the Skywalker saga, I'm hoping that they have a plan to work on another part of the Star Wars universe, because I will watch them all day. And I think being introduced to a whole new group of characters, you know, it could be a good thing. Be kind of refreshing. Not that I have any. I mean, you can keep going with Skywalker too. I'll watch those. I'm just saying, just to have something different, like a whole new group of characters you can fall in love with, and be heartbroken, like when Han Solo dies. You know, you fall in love with these characters, and then as you lose them, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm all for that. Also, with the little kind of spin-off type movies that they're doing, I'm a fan of those too. I thought Solo was alright.
Yeah.
Rogue One to me is better than most Skywalker saga, or like the episodes.
Yeah.
I thought Rogue One was an amazing movie.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Rogue One.
Was there another one? Or was it just those 2?
So far, it's just been
Rogue One and Solo?
Yeah, Rogue One and Solo, and then the main episodes.
Right.
I'm sure they'll be coming out with more, but right now it's just been those 2, and then the main movies. And then a lot of people are speculating different theories about Rey's character as basically a Sith. On different theories as she's a clone, she had a twin, it's a vision kind of thing. A lot of different theories are floating around on what it could pertain to, but I mean, it has been teased that she's a clone by episode 8. When she was in that, she went in that pit and was trying to see who her parents were, because that's who it was supposed to reveal. In that, when she just saw a bunch of copies of herself, and then she has toyed so much with teetering between the light and dark side. So I've always theorized of wanting them to introduce a Grey Jedi, which they've never done in the actual movies, but it is in the universe of it. Which she would be the most likely to do it, because of how she kind of teeters between both. Which, I mean, the Grey Jedi is you master both sides of it without giving yourself fully to one or the other. But you have mastered both sides to it, and you're just kind of that neutral balance.
Are there any talks or rumors about what the next spin-off? I'm just gonna keep calling them that because I don't know what they want to call them. Spin-off Star Wars movies or movie could be about. Because hear me out, John. Darth Maul. Clearly, I'm a fan of Darth Maul, and it would give us something different. It'd be the villainous side, dark side,
The dark side.
the Sith side.
I've not heard
So think
anything.
about that. Think about a Darth Maul origin story. Because then you could use. Because I mean, he's one of my favorite characters, and just so much potential. And Episode 1 is such a bad movie. The only good thing about that movie is Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I like.
What are you talking about?
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon Jinn?
Qui-Gon. Why do I do this every time we record? I forget a very popular name.
Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, because Qui-Gon was Obi-Wan's master, so master
Liam
Jedi.
Neeson. Liam Neeson's. Yeah, so
Because Obi-Wan was
I don't even know
Qui-Gon's
if I
apprentice.
I don't even know if I'm a big fan of Liam Neeson's in Episode 1, but I did like Ewan McGregor. Well, really not so much Episode 1 to like Ewan McGregor, but I liked him throughout 2 and 3 as Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
Especially 3, man.
Well, like episode
3 is my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a power ranking. I've been doing that a little bit on Twitter. And I'm gonna
With
do,
like everything.
yeah, and I'm gonna do the Star Wars. The first 8 episodes, I'm gonna do a power ranking, and I'll spoil it for you now. Episode 3 is gonna be number 1. It's my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's just so much drama.
And it links 3 to 4 on how Anakin went from Anakin to Vader.
It's
And
like,
then obviously
it's the biggest like turning point in the Skywalker saga,
and then
hands down.
And then
And
obviously
that's the
like
movie that shows it.
technically like episode 6 did the reverse of it, how he went from Vader back to Anakin before he died, which episode 9 it's teased that you hear his breathing, Darth Vader's breathing, which apparently episode 9 is supposed to have like make everything come full circle and basically tie everything off that's been in that saga.
I'm so stoked about it.
Because they bring in Palpatine back, which means they could bring Anakin back and Vader, whatever, and even if it's like Force Ghosts,
I want
which you hear Luke Skywalker's voice as well, saying like, "We've taught you." I forgot how it was worded. You've been taught, and you know everything that we have to teach you. Basically, you have everything that's led up to now. I forgot how it went in the trailer, but yeah.
it's the AC. When the AC turns off, we can hear the click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to switch outlets if that's plugged up too. But yeah. It's that mini fridge, but yeah.
Oh. That makes more sense. Alright, so I want to talk more about Star Wars. But let's put a pin in it. Do some human fall flat because I'm just staring at this clock and I gotta be out of here in like half an hour.
Yeah.
So are you good with that?
Oh yeah.
We can get a little bit of gameage in. So yeah, put a pin in it. I mean, I can all we've talked about is like Marvel and Star Wars stuff. So clearly,
So far.
yeah. So like, clear. I mean, like throughout the 3 episodes
Oh yeah, I
of the
mean
podcast, like it's mainly been Marvel, but we've thrown in some Star Wars stuff.
I've been also like the biggest stuff that's been out
Yeah.
and released so far, which has been primarily Star Wars and Marvel. And the biggest news of stuff, but then obviously smaller subjects like the fantasy football and whatnot. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some life subjects.
Yeah.
My daughters are getting really good at identifying things. I can just point to something and they'll kind of say what it is.
Yeah.
If it's something simple, I'll point to a doll and they say baby. I'll touch their nose and they say nose. Stuff like that. So they're growing.
Oh yeah.
You have cats.
And dogs. Yeah. You say it like I only have cats. I have
I was
two
just
cats
saying,
and 2 dogs.
because you don't have kids.
Fur babies, not human
Yes.
babies.
Yeesh. Ones that you don't have to change their diapers for the first few years of their life.
Yeah, but the first few of the years of their life, you gotta clean up after them as well because they'll poop inside instead of telling you, "Hey, I need to go out."
So my
Dogs, at least, but yeah.
my bedroom is a fairly safe space, and I mean, like it's pretty safe. They're not gonna hurt themselves in there. So the other day, I really had to use the bathroom. I mean, it was like threat level midnight type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you watched The Office, but anyway,
No, I haven't.
threw
I
out
need
a
to.
reference, but but no, it was yeah, exactly. But it was yeah, it was pushing. So I'm like, all right, I can just like shut the bedroom door, like they can stay in here, and my bathroom is like right outside my bedroom. It's like they're neighbors. So I was like, so I'll hear, something bad happens, and they start crying or whatever, and so I'm doing my business, and I hear nothing. I hear them kind of like, talking, whatever, just because they don't speak English, and then like I hear nothing, but I don't notice it for a few minutes, and I think I haven't heard them in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And as a parent, John, you will learn this. That's not good. It's not good for it to be silent, because you just know something's going down.
Or something's about to go.
Oh no, it's already gone down. That's
Well,
why
yeah.
they're silent. So I was like, this ain't good. I gotta get out of here, right? So I'm yanking at the toilet paper. I'm cleaning up, and don't worry, I fully cleaned up. I didn't rush that. Can't rush that process. And so then I get out of the bathroom and I go into the bedroom, and Layla is standing beside the little nightstand, and there was an open pack of Reese's, and there was like one Reese's left. It was a king size. It came with 4. There was like one Reese's left. Just giving you an idea of how fat I am. I'm not even the one that ate them. I think Christina ate them. But anyway. So, yeah. The Reese's cup is all like mashed up. And that's the first thing I see is Layla at the nightstand, Reese's cup all mashed up. And then I notice the chocolate and peanut butter all over her hands. And then she looks over at me because I opened the door. And she knew she fucked up. And she looks over at me, just like, and there was just chocolate, peanut butter. And then Leora is off to the side. So I see that right when I open the door. And then so I kind of think, where is Leora? I look over, and she's, doing her own thing. She's playing with a baby doll or a stuffed animal or whatever. But then she has chocolate all over her mouth. She had it in her hair, on her forehead, all over her hands, her shirt. Leora was like crazy messy. And I was like, oh my God. So I just wiped them off with a bunch of baby wipes. But yeah, Being a parent's fun. It's a
And
good
messy.
time. It's very messy. And they eat your Reese's. And neither one of them has ever had like actual chocolate yet until then. And man, when I took that thing away from Layla, she was angry. She was angry. She stared at me and like was mean mugging me, and then she just started crying. And I was like, I'm sorry. But how do you think I feel? You just ruined my last Reese's.
Yeah.
And then I grounded them both until they're 16.
That's gonna suck when they get older. Can I do this? No, you're grounded. What? What did I do? Remember years ago? No.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks for you.
Well, like I'm your dad, so
You'll pull up the podcast. Listen to this. This is what you did when you were what, 2? 1? What are they? They're 1 now, right?
yeah, they're almost 1.5.
Yeah, it's almost 2.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're closer to 1 than 2, but sure. I had that argument with Mike recently. He was saying that like that he like something, the number was like $600 or whatever, and his math is terrible. So I told him, I said, no dude, that's like just under 550. And he goes, oh well, same difference. And I was like, nope, it's closer to 500 than 600.
Just like his granted, he may have been a little bit drunk when he was on stream that time, but
He was very drunk.
yeah,
It's not a little bit drunk. He was drunk.
yeah, like his idea of never losing a fight, even if he just gave up and backed out of it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that was funny though. That was an argument that went on for far too long with him and whoever else was arguing with him about it.
I'll quit a fight before I lose.
Yeah.
Bro, that's still losing.
I give up. Stop. No, don't hit me. Go into a UFC fight, see how that works out.
I'm just gonna get in a physical altercation with him, and I'm gonna beat him up, and I'm gonna and when he wants to quit, I'm gonna tell him, admit that you lost, and he's gonna be like, oh, now I don't know what to do because I can't lose a fight, but then I'm also not gonna win. But I gotta make sure I get the better of him, so gotta play it smart.
I mean, you're bigger than him anyway, so
man, I'm just trying to not sound like a Billy Badass over here. I don't want to sound egotistical. He's got military training. He's like 5'7".
But like he's skinny as crap.
And there's like no athleticism to him whatsoever. But
besides drinking beer, but yeah.
But he does have military training.
What kind of military training?
The kind where you go
physical combat
over to the Middle East.
Well, he's actually been through like physical combat like training.
Yeah, he did 2 tours.
Self-defense training, whatever.
Iraq. Or it was either 2 in Iraq or it was 1 in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan. I don't know.
I cannot picture him with a real gun. I mean, I've seen him in the Division 2, but
that gun
with a real gun.
I
have a feeling if there were friendly fire in that game, he would have been hit.
Oh yeah, I would have shot him on purpose.
Oh, oops! Like in PUBG and stuff like that, or Rainbow Six Siege. Oh God, I could see him now if he played Siege.
Is friendly fire on in PUBG?
Yeah, you could turn it like on and off.
Oh, you can switch it. Okay.
And then Rainbow Six Siege, like you can legitimately boot somebody out if even if they accidentally, like if you walk in front of them and they shoot you or they kill you, is like you can vote to have them kicked.
Yeah,
even if it was an accident.
I remember my Halo days. I got kicked quite a bit, but it was because like I'm lobbing a grenade and then a teammate walks in or something.
A sticky grenade.
Or I'm in a gunfight and a teammate walks in front of me. And
well,
Halo and Call of Duty. Maybe Halo you couldn't kick. I don't know.
I don't think you could in Halo.
Yeah, but Call of Duty it definitely happened. It's like, well, stop walking because playing hardcore or whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, that was.
Let's boot this thing up. Let's do it. I literally have like 20 minutes tops.
All right.
And I guess to go.
Don't know how far we'll get because I've never played that game, but all right. What we're gonna do is sign off for the podcast, and I will end the recording for it, and we will switch over scenes so we can play some Human Fall Flat.
So we're still gonna be on Twitch.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching on Twitch, we're still gonna be up on that for another 15-20 minutes. Well, for me anyway. Then I gotta go.
Yeah, and then well, I won't have much longer after that either.
Just gotta get mulch.
My wife
Red
does, but...
or black mulch. Get both. Get red and black. Nobody's ever done that.
And then I will later on this evening upload the episode that we are currently recording of the podcast to YouTube, and I will also upload the episode portion of it to Twitch as well, as I've done the last two.
And I am going to share it.
Oh yeah,
because episode 2, it took me like a few days to remember to share it.
Oh yeah, because I share it after it's uploaded on both. Like, it does it a lot faster on YouTube on uploading, and then for whatever reason, it takes longer to upload on Twitch or process for Twitch. But yeah, but
really gone downhill since losing Ninja. I'm just kidding.
Alright, but you wanna give your plug-in before we sign off the podcast?
Yes, plug in. So if you want just power rankings that you don't care about, follow me on Twitter. It is at Infamous Wannabe. That's N, the letter N, the word famous, ONEUHB. Again, power rankings that no one cares about. I did the Linkin Park albums. That was my big one. But yeah. So you can follow me there. And Infamous Wannabe is my thing for all of it, like Instagram, which I don't post too much. And when I do, it's typically just pictures or videos of my daughters. And then you can add me as a friend on Facebook. I don't care. Nathan Ragland.
Name drop.
My address is
no,
my social security number.
People are trying to get swatted.
My account and routing number.
No. But I also will put the links to like your Twitter in the videos for the podcast, and mine as well for Twitch and Twitter. But if you all want to follow me on Twitter, it is MusicianGamer76. I try to make it as easy as possible. All my stuff is MusicianGamer76. So Twitter, Twitch. I am a part-time variety streamer on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless I have some personal stuff come up. And try to, as much as possible, not have to cancel stream, because I hate doing that. And then obviously on the weekends, we have gotten into streaming the podcast, which we record live, and it is later posted. But yeah. And for anybody who watches this after the fact of the stream on YouTube, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you'll know next time we upload videos of the podcast or anything else that I upload on the YouTube channel. And yeah, make sure you guys come hang out when we live stream the podcast live, and feel free to comment on the videos of them, and we welcome anyone and everyone to get involved in the live podcast as well, get in on conversations. But are you gonna be able to do a podcast next weekend?
Yeah. Wait, Yeah.
Are you
I
sure?
was thinking. I was like, wait, there's something I'm doing Saturday, and it was what we talked about earlier. But
And then
that's
Sunday-
That's Saturday evening, so I can do it around this time.
beforehand.
Yeah, and the girls will be with their mom, so I'll be free.
Is there any fee for that on the Joe's thing, the ruckus?
That might be a cover charge. I don't know, but it'd
Alright.
be like no more than $10.
Because I may
Probably
go
just
to that.
$5.
I may go to that myself.
But I've been there a couple times when there's been a band, and there's never been a cover charge. But the ruckus
Okay.
is pretty popular, so I
Yeah,
don't know. But at most
Yeah.
it would be 10. But I don't even think there's gonna be one.
yeah. But all right. So, excuse me. Wow. So probably about noonish, I guess. You'll come over next Saturday then, so we can do another podcast.
Mm-hmm. My microphone is staying here,
So
so
you
I don't
don't
have
forget
to worry
it.
about forgetting it because I can't use it at home anyway. So it's
Yeah.
staying here.
Which I mean, when it's just me on stream and the camera's there, and I'm using my green screen and stuff, I just have that channel turned all the way down where nothing picks up on the mic anyway. It's only this one,
Mhm.
so nothing will happen. But thank you all for joining in, hanging out, and we will see you all.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And then with listening and watching, that's just like support. So appreciate it.
Feel free to like and share and everything to help support the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. We're trying to grow the podcast as well. And pretty soon, as soon as we can get the logo and the other picture done, I will create a YouTube channel for the podcast itself as well, and a Twitter page for it as well. And we will be sharing that stuff out too. And I will still be uploading the podcast to my own YouTube and the Twitch here, as well as its own YouTube channel to help try to promote it more. But we hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there for Labor Day. And we will see you all back here next Saturday for the next podcast. You want to live stream it then too?
Yep.
All right, so we can play some games afterwards.
And
On
yeah,
stream?
I'll have a lot more time next
Alright.
weekend. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink and boat. Okay, with the holiday weekend coming up, I know of a few people, either like directly or just friends of friends, around holidays like this, where a lot of boating ones happen. People are at the lake. But yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
just be careful, man. Don't drink and get behind the wheel of anything.
Call a
So
ride.
be safe. Yeah, call an Uber.
Uber, Lyft, taxi, whatever. Friend.
Does Uber do boat services?
I don't know. They do everything else like Uber Eats and whatnot, delivering your food now.
Uber
so.
Pond. That's what I would call it.
But anyway, guys, hope you all have a great one. We will see you back here Saturday. Thank you.